Isaiah chapter 12 verse 6. Shout aloud and sing for joy, people of Zion, people of Israel. For great is the Holy One of Israel among you. Now shout for joy. Shout aloud. Sing for joy. People of Zion. You see, the reason why they should jubilate.
If Ghana TV, simply the best. Yes, other phone, who to say, Yame, Adrom me hoye, meaning Mrs. Sahana wants so hoye pa no me na air so kama ewa brabomni asitine emu. Abuzia, Chairman Eric Nyamekye Edin Sembi Aba Abetuya Chese. Dear, say members of Church of Pentecost. Yebetie na yebeya ebeboa pa ebeboa onyame adwuma ebeboa omai kronkro Ghana na ebeboa Kristosom ensu enyina ebusia ensembe na chairman eka ede etre Chairman Eric Nyamekye Sunday na onya akwanya one wiasi na eche nyamiasem aya ye no ye friend no chairman Sunday service and our special Sunday service with Chairman Eric Nyamekye. Yes, ebi ohwa so ni around so for ni bitimi ebesi na nine. Na kwesi ade na ode appeal bi atudwa appeal na yade brɛw. Mem weti yam sabme kakra. Yeti appeal. Chairman Eric Nyamekye say Church of Pentecost uba Ghana ha alone. Yekuta locus maku 20,000. Ane Ghana ha say aso that way ye won aso that maku 20,000 ibia nipa nso ewom ebia nipa wom na o say this number esese edi insakraye ebo manimu esese eden sakraye into say ye me ye numbers no encounter wo man mu ye members no enkyere say ye wegidifo dodo say wo Ghana ha because churches locals maku 20,000 na say 20,000 na ebia kra ye wo nipa be ye mfan say we dey 200 pe we dey ye nka na kese yo Bill had 700 members a day. The Sokra Pentecost members are local is Sokra a way class be cry when you're crying 100 50 is Sokra. It's me a bit me back 300 200 350 400 a big cry to me or more than 1,000. Now or say ye may members no start say wo bo abrabo pa ene kronkron ye ewo ye na dwumam ne ye fiefia ye den sakraye bebo ma wem o ma wem Pentecost alone can bring change to Ghana. Abuziafo omientie no.
Now brothers, we are many.
Adovonum ya dos.
Church of Pentecost, we are many.
Asafui ya dos papa.
But our numbers should count.
Nanso esese ye ndodo no etumidi nsusanso kese ba. Esese etumidi nsusanso kese ba.
Why? What do we need 20,000 local churches for if our numbers will not count in the workplace? Don't let us disappoint God. He wants to work with us everywhere. Open your spirit. Now, brothers, we are many. Church of Pentecost, we are many. But our numbers should count. Our numbers should count. Why? What do we need 20,000 local churches for if our numbers will not count in the workplace? Don't let us disappoint God. He wants to work with us everywhere. Open your spirit. Expect him to move you at the workplace. Expect him to move you at the hospital. Expect him to move you wherever you are. You are an arrow.
Yes, ebusia na chese chairman Eric Nyamekye ena ode sansemi atuja se ebusia yama ye members dodo no ye count na ye tie nyamsam a kwisia de chairman editu dwane su ebi kakra ye wia ye be de monkomo intimra
says Isaiah chapter 12 verse 6. Shout aloud and sing for joy, people of Zion, people of Israel. For great is the Holy One of Israel among you. Now shout for joy. Shout aloud. Sing for joy, people of Zion. You see, the reason why they should jubilate is simple. For great is their God, and their God dwells amongst them. So let us be grand. Let us shout for joy. For great is the Holy One of Israel among you. Now in the Old Testament, God made Israel to know and understand that God was in their midst. And the fact that God was in their midst was very clear to them. Apart from the fact that Israel were taught to know that God was with them, they experienced the fact that He was in their midst. Now they experienced it. They experienced it. Can you imagine Moses telling them that, or they seeing the cloud of glory, and God through Moses is telling them, those who have rebelled against Moses, come and line up here, and the earth opens its mouth, and these people are buried that same period. No, they didn't just know that God was there, they experienced the fact that God was in their midst. But for lack of revelation, they confined His worship to the temple. See, the fourth book of Moses, Numbers, chapter 2. Now, if you are reading chapter 2 of Numbers, it prescribes how the camp of Israel in the wilderness is to be arranged. And the order in which the tribes are to arrange themselves when they are on the march. That is when they are moving from one place to another. Now, they arrange themselves to depict to the world that God was in their midst. Now, I'll give you a picture of Israel in camp. Now, this is how it looks like. So I hope you will be able to see something like this. Now, try and open your eyes widely and see if you can see. Now, you realize that on my right is Issachar, Judah, and Zebulun. Now, these are tribes. The tribe in the middle is the leader.
Your one finfini or no any penny.
Now, when you come to, let's say, the top,
say, oh, call a tiffy femwa, strohono.
You see Naphtali, Dan, and Asher.
Asher, Dan, and
then when you come to the west,
now Oba to say unsaben kumuswa.
You see Benjamin, Ephraim is the leader of the three, and Manasseh.
Benjamin, Ephraim, and Manasseh.
Then when you come down,
now Oba na four femwa.
You see, I can see you are.
God.
But where I am, I can't see because it's covered by
Simon.
God, Reuben, and Simon. But you see, close to the tent are Levites.
Now, so Sawusha, oh, Ben, Siadine, and Asen to Madino, Lewi for.
And in the middle of the camp is the tent of meat.
Now, Osha, and Finipano, baby, I will see, and I say, Siadine to Madino.
So the Levites guarded the tent.
And the Lewi for no,
and they were surrounded by the tribes.
Now,
what they are trying to say to the whole world that their God is in their midst. Their God was in the middle. Now let's look at Israel on the march. That is when they are traveling. This is better. Aisha, Judah, Zebulun. The one in the middle will lead. So if they are traveling, Judah will lead, and Aisha and Zebulun will follow. Then Reuben will lead, Gad and Simon will follow.
And he said, oh, Isaka, Judah, and Zebulon, Judah, and the Bedianimu, Namino Akano Atwaso, the Diwan so, Reuben Bedianimu, Nagad, Simon so, at the Etre, it is only
so 12 tribes. When the six will go ahead of the tent of meat.
Oh, Shadan to Madino. Sorry, and that's what 2 Santia in Sia, a dear Nimu,
and 6 will be behind the tent of meat.
In Sianso, a dear
So when they are even on the march, the tent is still in the middle.
And Tiosha, so 2 Santin crown, she had done to Madino, a woman finfini.
But see, when they are on the march,
and so 2 Santin.
Okay. You see, in the tent is the ark.
Oh, Shano, she had done to Madino, and a Pamada can see.
So in the ark is the presence of God. Meanwhile, when they have come or when they are on the march, a cloud or the cloud of glory, signifying the presence of God, will go ahead of them.
When you say, what 2 Santia and you yam duma, a chill Yankopon, one terminal, a doing any.
Sometimes it rests on the top of the tent. So where is God? You see, in the ark.
So,
or he is ahead of them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Israel in the midst of his people. God in the midst of his people. You see, Solomon in his prayer of dedication after the temple was built. And the Ark of Covenant and the holy articles were brought into the temple. He had to request God. Or he was not requesting God to come and dwell in the temple, I should say. He was only pleading God that he should be attentive to what happens in the temple. And that when his people come to pray in the temple, he should respond and hear them from his dwelling place. Now let's go to 2 Chronicles 6. From verse 18. This is Solomon praying, part of his prayer. But will God really dwell on earth with humans? The heavens, even the highest heavens, cannot contain you. That is true. How much less this temple I have built. You see, the Bible says that God sits in heaven and his legs reach the earth. What temple will he comfortably enter? Yet the Lord my God, give attention to your servant's prayer and plea for mercy. Hear the cry and the prayer that your servant is praying in your presence.
Yes,
ebusia. We ayen sama Sunday chairman Nyumre 7 to 9 chairman Eric Nyamekye edi ebetudwa. Now share a normal course de di kan de aye hwe pa eya asem we ya papa edi tudwa ya papa edi tudwa yen santi ya papa asem we yen santi bi.
Now brothers, we are many.
Adovonum ya dos
Church of Pentecost, we are many.
As if we ya dos papa.
But our numbers should count.
Now so say yen dodo no etumidi nsusanso kese ba. Say etumidi nsusanso kese.
Why? What do we need 20,000 local churches for if our numbers will not count in the workplace? Don't let us disappoint God. He wants to work with us everywhere. Open your spirit. Expect him to move you at the workplace. Expect him to move you at the hospital. Expect him to move you wherever you are. You are an aroma of Christ. And he wants to use you everywhere.
We any asam popa yigina so. We ni asam popa yigina so. Nyamiadom Church of Pentecost can count as 20,000 local churches. Now Chairman Busa said, what do we need 20,000 locals for? If your presence ain't mean fancy cry emfa kronkron ye emfa brabo pa emfa suba pa emfa ahotie emma maidimu a what do we need for? Nothing. Pentecost ma ejidi for say kuta this number, we need to have an impact in Ghana. Positive impact. Send a chairman can yen jumam yen fie yen tinabia. As I said, nipa feel your presence. Nipa feel your presence. Our Ghana ha. Your man for they proud themselves say omona chese omo doso pa. Make I one elder bako friend me from elder elder or Canada, me refin di kakra. Offer me na no, ye din koma. Azada. A man for so amodo zone. Area ba ko pe be mene wo. Osi, o wan ka osi zone. Uko areas na ya chichem zones na zone ba ko betimi amene na members na o claim ni na just one zone or two zone betimi amene sa members ni na. Pentecost ekwem 20,000 locals. But then you there's a BMO. So Pentecost in 20,000. What about other churches? What about other churches? Shomoso dodo, Shomoson saw the omo, Hinipa kum ekoson, Kusia debia. No me busa me hose. Enti say what's up members na a GHPon in our Ghana ha ni we Christopher a musum nyame nukurem pa wa Ghana ha eno ni oman ayetimi eno ni hu sunsu asoni And only who brand yebui. And then who brand yebui. Sometimes we share ye mwe jidi foni binom abra boni sua ye dene dia. Aya na sabi obi timika se e Kristo fo mponi. Na wa nye Kristo ni dia nka ebe hadwe. Odofo. This is a great call. Chairman yini apa ye ho so. Si ewure fi ye ho a ye nwumam ye ne Kristo edi. Nyamesom enye oyam four corners na ye wo asore dem no kwade ye kosum nyame. Na mum ye mfie ye dwumam ya godi bia ene bia ye behu ye ho se ye ho no esese Kristo edi edi ho no. Therefore, what are we doing? What are we doing? 20,000. That's a huge number. That is a huge number. But say enyen sunsun so wo man ni mu a a waste of time, a waste of everything, resources ni no in dan aye sin fide ya to egum ne asofo ne ya me edwuma fire power wo ye edwuma ne say enyen sunsun so wo man ni mu a faso bie ni so faso bie ni dia ye so some faso beba so esese ye hyase ye denedi baby a ebeko bi esese ye jedin pa esese ye gya brabo pa esese ye gya enoma papa ho na edi nsunsuanso papa edi bon man ni mu anyesa ye bebregu anyesa ye bregu but nyame manem pare ye si ye beye edwuma ye bebregu obregu eyo obregu eya basi ye hunu Kristo ni ye de ahotoro so ni ye hunu se baabi a ye wo bia wo ho ti ye danadi ma foforo ni ewiase bebe huna Ghana bedane president oye Kristo ni vice president oye Kristo ni ministers bebre eye Kristo for Pentecost for assemblies wom CAC wom Port City wom Methodist wom Roma wom Nkremofo wom won so ye gidifo emusen ene ye wona wo soma abosom na chese ye ne ayesi ye hu de Kristo ni krem ala which is nkremosom ene ye bu o man nanso yen ne ye se yo man no yen e de yen yonko aye bu no yen yonko a ye man hu say yes ye no ye wiewie abuzia. There is a time. This is the time we need to rise up and move forward. Say, Nyamia oboni wiase no. Onena ote dia oyase. Abuzia, Nyame shra. Ono me kan ho. Mo me ye na yenso this call mu. Na wadwumam ufie monten ho. The Kristo edi. Na fe no yamhye ema Kristo. Nyame shra. Onto nkwandem. Say why crowd say maybe be a will be a obede Kristo edi say you adwumam say you fie say you mountain obema Kristo aden ho edi e wo ho ne ye de nyonyam hye many pe feel your presence e wo oman ayetimi anya saade a total waste of time. God bless you.
If one can see simply best.